Live at lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at lunch. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson, welcome to the Tuesday edition. Live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott. Jordan Kinch is back off of vacation. Hope he had a nice little hiatus. He's back with us today.
Where did he go? Where'd you go, Jordan?
The beach and avoided the sand. You know, yeah.
Okay, all right. I thought I saw you in Club La Vila's website.
Never all beach, no sand, right?
Yes,
all beach, no sand.
It's a beautiful part of the world, baby. Yes, indeed.
Andy Isco with us today. We do first class, second class, no class today. We are under some pretty heavy, slacking off a little bit, I guess, rain today in Baton Rouge. Careful as you make your way around the college baseball this afternoon. It's Elimination Day in Omaha. Two more teams will be going home today. West Virginia and Troy on one side, Georgia and Texas, the surprise on the other side. So that's kind of where I wanted to start today with the two games from yesterday. Alabama was eliminated by Texas. A pretty easy go for the Longhorns in the first game. They had a 3-0 lead after one. They had a 7-1 lead after two, and kind of put it on cruise control from there. 13 hits, 14 runs. Alabama, who was not tested in the Super Regional, really wasn't. I don't want to say they weren't ever tested because they had I think an extra inning game with Oklahoma State in the regional, but they won the other two games pretty easy. So coming into Omaha, 4 of their 5 games they had won decisively.
It fell as perfect.
It did.
Okay, they had to play Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State got beat in the first game. So they were coming out of the losers bracket by the time they faced them.
Is that right? Okay. It was 7-5, I think, was the final.
Well, they lost the first game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so then you don't even have to play them in a marble game, and then they have to play an extra game to come back to meet you. So, I mean, they caught them at a compromise time. And then St. John's wins the Tallahassee Regional.
And, and left it all in Tallahassee.
They deserved it.
Sure.
I mean, it was a weird season. They lost to some teams they shouldn't. But when you sweep Florida and Auburn, that's 2 of the top 8 national seeds.
Yeah,
and they, there's their RPI. So, but we said that before. They didn't. They were kind of the odd man out on that top 8 group.
Texas got 6 good innings from Ruger Riojas and didn't have to use up very much bullpen. In fact, when Georgia and Texas play today, they will have used for a loser's bracket game as little pitching as possible. Jimmy, all the times we've been in the World Series, I can't remember. Georgia has gotten a complete game in both of the first 2 games and are in the loser's bracket. So I can't ever remember a team that had back-to-back complete games is rare enough, much less to be in the loser's bracket. No. But Caden Aoki went the route yesterday in a 4-3 loss. But Texas is set up, as is Georgia, to have enough pitching to get them through a loser's bracket. They'll just have to survive today. But Alabama was not as dominant as they were in the Super Regional. They were dominated in Omaha. They lost 9-0 in the first game and 14-2 in the second game. The real story yesterday was Oklahoma, and continues to be at this World Series, for a team that lost its last 4 altogether. Now, lost its last 4 series in the regular season, was one and done in the SEC tournament, went to Georgia Tech, who was playing as well as anybody. They were one of those 3 power conference teams that had won their regular season and had won their tournament, and had a 7-3 lead going to the 7th inning of the deciding game when Oklahoma turned it on, and they have turned it on ever since. They had a walk-off to beat Georgia Tech, who was as good as anybody this year. Went to Kansas, that big atmosphere that was at Kansas for the regional. They suffocated the Jayhawks, never let that crowd get into it, led from gate to wire on that thing, and then shut out Alabama, who had only been shut out twice the whole season, shut them out in the opener behind a kid who had an ERA that was well over 5. In fact, it was closer to 6 than 5. But yesterday was going to be different, right? This is Georgia Bulldogs. This is Georgia who won the regular season. This is Georgia who won the tournament in the SEC. Best league, right? Okay. Won the regular season by multiple games. Won the tournament. Beat a Southeastern Conference team in the Super Regional, a really, really good Mississippi State team. I think 28-7 in SEC games, counting the postseason, going into the World Series. Then they beat Texas. They beat Dylan Valanis, maybe the number 1 pick in next year's draft. Oklahoma is not going to send Xander Mercurius out there and with freshman, 0 wins. Okay, now he's pitched a lot, but did not have.
Didn't have a win all year.
Didn't have a decision. Yeah, didn't have.
He didn't get a win against Kansas.
It was 0-2. No, he only went 4 innings.
Well,
he only went 4 innings. He was 0-2 going into yesterday's game with an ERA of 5.82.
Good job by Johnson to keep him in.
Yeah, and so yesterday
got the absolute most out of him
against the best lineup in college baseball. Say that?
Yes,
I mean, skewed because of the park, but they can hit.
But
7
no,
and
they
7 1/3 of 3-run baseball, and got them into the 8th inning with the lead. They got a 3 spot in the first, so they had the lead from jump. They got their closer Cleveland came in and threw the last inning in 2/3. There was runners on base. He was able to wiggle out of it. They gave up 3 home runs, but all of them were solos. And Oklahoma finds themselves in the winner's bracket. A more improbable team I thought they were overrated all year because their RPI stayed at 20s for most of the year. I never thought that their play really – the second half of the season, I didn't think they were that good. I thought they were living off of some of the things that they had done in the first half of the season. They didn't really have a number 1 pitcher. The offense was sporadic. But for the last 3 weeks, they are hottest team, luckiest team, best team, most transformed team. Pick your adjective, whatever you want. But here they are in the winner's bracket.
I'm going to go with more hot than lucky.
Okay.
Because, I mean, they had to, they were sent to Atlanta. I mean, Georgia Tech was, they were one of the 3 teams. 3 teams with the major conference, regular season, and tournament championship. Now, if you want to include the Big 12 in there too, with Kansas, yeah, but Kansas
and West Virginia.
Kansas won the regular season in the tournament.
Yeah.
West Virginia swept them.
Right.
Late in the season, but they won the regular season in the tournament. Now, the schedules can be lopsided, but to go to Georgia Tech, that was the most impressive because Georgia advanced, Kansas advanced at their regional, and UCLA didn't. Okay, so let's look at Cal Poly. Well, Cal Poly avoided playing UCLA. How many times did Oklahoma play Georgia Tech to get out of that Atlanta regional?
3.
They slayed the biggest dragon.
Mm-hmm.
They slayed the biggest dragon. So there. And then you go where they beat Arkansas, and Arkansas in the marble game. Talk about Kansas. Arkansas saved Dietz, maybe to get a little bit more proper rest, maybe because just a strategic. But Dietz had great stuff. Struck out a record 14. He's never struck out 14 people, and he still beat him. Mm-hmm. They still beat them, and they went on. This was a team that was respectable. I didn't see. That was one of my favorite regional picks, Kansas over Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Loved it. They didn't show up. I mean, they got suffocated. That's as good as any. I'll live with that. I mean, just no contest.
Yeah.
No contest in Lawrence, and then they come here and win. Okay, you beat Bama, but then you beat Georgia with this guy. Ain't got to win all year. And he was Johnson. And so what do you do? And Peterson says after the 6th. Was it no? It was after 7 or it was entering the 8th or entering the 7th. When did they pull him?
In the 8th.
Okay.
He got the first out of the 8th.
At the end of the 7th,
At
the end of the 7th, Peterson's like, no, I got to pull him now until, with the top of the lineup coming up. And I text you, I'm like, no, you got a 2-run lead. You got to let this guy at least give up a base runner.
Yeah.
Well, he got Phelps.
He got the first out.
He got the Phelps, and then he gave up the bomb.
Yep.
And the wind was blowing that way, but that was between the 375 alley marks, huh?
It was the first one that we've seen go out in between the power
But it was
alleys.
a cheap one, huh, Charlie? The guy reached over and caught it.
407 feet. 400.
Oh, I think it was further than that.
Wait,
You
think about the other one? Jackson's ball was 447. The Oppo one was 407 to left center field. Jackson, the Triple Crown winner, hit one 447. It's the second longest ball ever hit in that
wasn't
park.
the eighth inning one?
No.
No, okay, that
No.
was Oppo.
Yeah.
It was Jackson, though, huh?
Jackson hit the
Wait a minute.
Jackson hit
he
the
bats
long
two,
one.
right?
Yeah, yeah. He hit
Okay,
that.
well, he hit
that
the home run in the eighth.
Yeah, yeah.
But both are Oppo. Then he
Okay, both. Yeah. But the one. No, Jackson's went 447. The first one got over with room to spare, 407. Jackson's was 40 feet beyond that.
Right.
It just creamed that ball. Just
Okay.
absolutely demolished.
So, but and Johnson comes right out and takes him out.
Yep.
Now, I don't know if the guy really. I mean, he didn't have great stuff. He was sneaking by the fastball.
Can I give you two
bit.
stats on him real quick, and then I'll let you talk?
He threw 4 fastballs.
I don't know how many fastballs he threw, but he went in with leading the team in saves with 9. Well, this was his 9th save, and he had an ERA of 5.5.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so he's not like he's Mariano Rivera coming out there, but he got the outs.
One thing we have to talk about with Georgia, and they he stranded 2 in the 8th, stranded 2 in the 9th, and it was the Golden Spikes guy that got back again, and he got the last out, right? He flew out to center.
Yes.
Yeah. So they got back around, with this
He
guy.
flew out to right field.
So
he hit it hard, but
this guy pitched to 10 nine batters. Because they pulled him right after Jackson hit the
that's
one.
right.
So
That's right.
I think it was the first pitch that he swung up. He got it in center field, and I know he hit, some out, but it was a routine play. We talk about Georgia, and the obvious is, okay, their run production has come down some compared to playing in that launching pad, as expected. The wind has been a factor. It's going to be blowing out tomorrow. It's blown out more regularly this World Series than previous, as far as you count on the unders or 5-3 to this point. They split yesterday. But we failed to mention about, okay, well, aren't these Georgia pitchers going to be attack the zone more instead of watching balls fly out 75 feet over the damn scoreboard?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the big thing. Because with the free passes, man, when you start the inning with a free pass at any level, but damn, in college, it seems like, boy, it just ignites a big alley. 2 complete games. How many walks?
1
Combined.
Volchko walked 1. Aoki didn't walk anybody yesterday, and they still lost.
So this is the biggest shocker that Georgia and Texas are playing an elimination game.
Absolutely.
Okay, but who does Oklahoma? Who are they pulling for? I know a long game. I know that.
Yeah. I would say Georgia's got a little bit more pitching, but Texas didn't really use anybody. They can bring back all of their guys.
Oklahoma.
I'm sorry. Georgia has a little bit
You
more
said
pitching.
Georgia
than
has
Texas,
more pitching than Texas.
by an eyelash.
Really? Because they only threw their 2 guys.
They only threw their
Okay.
2 guys, but Texas only threw 1 guy.
They
besides
didn't use
the 2
anybody
starters.
of consequence yesterday.
No, they used 1 guy, Willis, for 38 pitches. They could bring him back if they needed to. So, like I said, by an eyelash, maybe a little bit with Georgia. But I think Georgia, if I were doing this, if I were Oklahoma, I would root for Texas because I think Georgia's lineup is more potent.
It's close,
So if the pitch, Texas can hit. I mean, my God, 14 runs yesterday. I just think Georgia's lineup's a little bit better. But it's close. It's close. I don't know if they get an advantage either way. I think Georgia or Texas, either one of them, has plenty enough pitching to get out of the losers bracket. Now, once you get to the championship game and you've had to use all those guys, I don't know what kind of shape you're going to be in. But I think they both got enough pitching to win today and win 2 against Oklahoma if they swing the bats well. That's a tough thing to go on the other side, which is why North Carolina is such a huge favorite to win this whole thing now, because they are set up on the other side. They will be set up tomorrow, and if they win tomorrow, they can bring back DeCaro to open the championship series, and they're going to be set up. Neither one of us think they're the best team there, but we understand certainly why they're the favorite that they are at this point.
And they got the 1-2 bullpen that has allowed them to win these close games. I still think that I will take the Georgia-Texas winner to come back out of the losers bracket.
Well, you're getting a little juice.
Mm-hmm. I will take that, and I don't know if North Carolina and the ACC is too familiar with their history. So if they've never won it, only 2 teams in the history of the ACC have won it. Now, Miami won some before they were a member of the ACC, but that doesn't count. And the last one to win it was O'Connor, who's now Mississippi State, was at Virginia. So does that I mean, if you're Georgia, I think North Carolina wants to see Oklahoma.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So
that lineup is swinging well right now, but yesterday was the first time since the first Georgia Tech game that they haven't scored at least 8 runs. But they do not have the type of lineup that Georgia or Texas does. No. We're live over here at Mike Anderson's on Lee, just off of Nicholson. Every Tuesday night is half off raw oysters. So we do it from 5 to 9 p.m. in the Oyster Bar. So shucking away over here, DJ Hurricane, he is DJing behind the bar, turning up the music, holding court and doing his thing. The Char Grill fires away on Tuesdays. Cold beer as well. So you got draft specials on a Tuesday night as well. But you know what is Sunday? Father's Day.
Now, unlike some of our friends who thought Father's Day was this past Sunday, well, maybe they just celebrated twice. Maybe we're the dumb ones.
2 gifts.
Anyway, yes, double gifts. So, he was doing that so he could give me one.
Nice try.
So, anyway, hey, we do have room for reservations. We will fill up, but we do have a little maneuvering still. So, if you're taking Dad out to eat for Father's Day and what Dad doesn't like to come over to Mike Anderson's, oysters on the half shell, char-grilled oysters, all the great Southern Louisiana delicacies. Saw little Mike in here earlier. Saw Big Mike here 2 weeks ago. That's right, the original Mike Anderson. Saw him on Look Great, too, over here a couple of weeks ago. Still doing the same old stuff, and man, we're just we're going to have a really good time for Father's Day. So no regional and super regional in town, so it's a little bit easier to navigate, but we will fill up. Again, you call us up for reservations for Father's Day. So the entire weekend, lunch, dinner, keep in mind, we're open 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. all day long this Sunday for Father's Day.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we'll return here at Mike Anderson's, Wesley at Nicholson. Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 104.5 ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. It's brought to you by Supreme Rice and SupremeRice.com. Supporting our Louisiana farmers and now in business for 90 years here, celebrating 90 years in business in 2026. For more information, go to SupremeRice.com. A lot of disappointed lawyers today, don't you think?
Oh, the Sorsby stuff.
Guys that were going to get plenty money this year, this summer with the Sorsby case. As it turned out, the Texas AG brought this to a faster halt than probably he could have ever imagined with what happened with this deal. And we don't. I don't want to do courtroom drama for very long here, but just to explain what happened, the Attorney General in Texas, a man named Ken Paxton, put out what amounted to a threat to the Big 12 last week, which was, you are not going to be able to sanction Texas Tech in any way for playing Brendan Sorsby this fall. And the response from the Big 12 as well as the attorneys general in Oklahoma, Kansas, and Utah all said, you want to bet. Because yesterday the Big 12 filed a lawsuit, and in it they were seeking a federal injunction to be able to discipline Texas Tech any way they damn well pleased. And the lawsuit kind of caught Texas Tech by surprise. Even Tom Mars, who what's Mars's record against?
Undefeated.
Pretty much can't be touched. And he said, this is one of the most brilliant legal moves that I have seen. They caught Texas Tech basically, flat-footed a little bit with this thing yesterday. Long story short, if this had proceeded, the deadline for the supplemental draft is next week. This could have drug out a little bit more, but most of the legal experts that looked at this thing went, the Big 12 is going to win. And then out of that president's meeting yesterday, that conference call came, not only are we going to win, we're going to drop the hammer on you if you insist this, okay? How many times? He is not going to play. And if he does, we're going to level a significant fine. Now, I don't know what that means, but if you got to get Cody Campbell's attention with a significant fine, that's plenty of money. But more importantly, we're going to ban you from the Big 12 championship game. If you ban you from the Big 12 championship game,
automatic bid.
The college football playoff was likely to follow suit, saying, well, if you're not eligible for your conference title.
When you say that, you don't know.
Well,
if they go undefeated, Charlie, which they are. They're going to go with the backup. You don't know.
It shook them up enough.
I don't know. But you saying it shook up you don't think Sorsby had a hand in all this?
He pulled out of this yesterday.
Okay,
he was
basically,
look, man, they are going they're going to make sure that Texas Tech pays as big a price as is possible under the parameters that they have. We're going to level this fine. We're going to ban you from the championship game, and we expect that the college football playoff will follow suit. Not because you're not good enough, but because we told you not to play this guy. And if you
could have, but when we get to talking absolutes about what a committee is going to do, that's kind of. We're going to be careful there.
I don't think they would have let it even get – they would have either declared them ineligible or eligible. I don't think it would have been on the merits of their season.
Think.
That's what I think, yeah. And that's what they think, too, because yesterday Texas Tech and Sorsby gave up the ghost. They're like, we're going to have to fight this thing, and if we lose, we're going to lose big. Sorsby's going to lose his season, and we may lose our season, too. And he's got a week left to do this.
Till a week deadline still – I think Sorsby has had enough getting beat down too.
Yes, absolutely. Could you imagine?
That's my biggest take on this thing. Is like, man, I mean, I've had enough. I mean, it's me. I mean, just nobody likes to get pounded on like that constantly.
No mas.
Yeah. I mean,
they also let him keep the money.
I think I don't know if everybody's like LSU, but most of them do spread it out monthly payments throughout the course of the season. Say if he's $1 million is what he got. I think that's a wise move by Cody Campbell. I always wanted to say Campbell. Cody Campbell. I just think that that helps. When even if things fall apart, if something happens, I mean, we're going to stick behind. I thought it was a decent thing. If you're thinking about recruiting, if you're visionary, I think it helps him. It's right. They're getting beat up enough. They could do something. I don't even know if it's honorable or not, but as far as the recruiting world, I think I think it's the best thing to. I think it's money well spent.
We'll stand up for you, and we're not going to.
Right. I mean, easy. Everybody loves you when you're on top.
Yeah.
But if you slip, we may stick behind you.
The saber rattling by the AG that says you can't enforce your own rules. I think that's what pushed it over the edge.
Well, push what?
Well, when Texas Tech, the Big 12 was able to come back.
We knew they were in trouble. Okay, because when I told you originally, compared to the Georgia athletic director and others, no, the Big 12 was the one that could have done something about it. They got the feedback last week with their members, and everybody was on the other side of this. And so, what do we want to do? We want to serve 15 and we want to serve 1, of course. So, but don't you think? But this was ultimately Sorsby. I mean, did were there conversations saying, "Hey, Texas Tech said, look, bro, this is a losing battle. You might want to drop out."
I'm sure they did tell him that, but it was his call. It was his suit.
I mean, at least his representation was in conversation.
And I think he said he talked to his family, his parents, and
Oh
everything.
man, the family. They're
you got to move on. This is not worth it.
This is yes. But how much within we heard a little bit from the AD at Texas Tech. We heard some from Campbell, but how much in their board of regents, their board of supervisors, nobody could be universal on this.
No,
I
can speculate that.
I mean, so at some point, like, man, we are getting the PR negative. I mean, we are. Man, we make Lane Kiffin look like a likable figure right now.
We saw what the PR did down the street with the basketball coach.
How's Lane handling it?
Well,
he was off the hook.
Yeah,
he had to want this thing to go.
I'm sure that there are administrators at Texas Tech that don't have the stomach for this to say, "Look, man,
right?
I don't want to. This is not a fight we want to.
Well, we talk about it here.
Get into.
No, we don't care. We're tired of being last. We don't want a citizenship award anymore. We don't want it. We don't care. I mean, everybody hates this move. Bring on Will Wade. Sorry, we don't want the citizenship. But imagine if LSU doesn't get outbid. They're not investing that much money in the payroll, in the staff, in Kiffin, in firing Kelly. They're not spending all that money and then not trying to keep their quarterback eligible.
Yeah, and I think that more than likely the same thing would have happened. LSU would have gone as hard as they could to the point where
I believe so.
That they got to run the white flag.
If Sankey spoke up on Bediako, he was going to speak up on Sorsby.
The SEC's other 15 schools in reaction to LSU would have been the same as the 15 in the Big 12.
No, that's predictable.
Yeah.
But I think as bad as it was, I think it's more venomous towards Kiffin. That Kiffin was a part of it. Charlie?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
he's a lot more. Even with McGuire's outlandish statement about he didn't murder anybody last week. Kiffin is still a polarizing figure.
That's when you know it's they're just reaching. I mean,
the video, the whole deal, it unraveled on him. So a lot of lawyers
you stab somebody. Well, at least I didn't shoot him.
Right.
I mean,
I mean, come on. But
Texas Tech had to take their shot. They had to take their. I'm sorry, they had to take their shot. The reason being, Charlie, somebody's got to show me somebody where they're going to lose.
They took.
Did they go too far? Maybe. Well, they still pulled out, and it's going to settle down. This thing is going to die quickly, and they'll move on. Have they got some big? Is it life lasting? I mean, it's college athletics. They'll move on to something else, whatever. But they had to at least take a little shot. Did they last too long? I can listen to the argument. Maybe they did. Okay? Did some ridiculous things come out of their mouth in defense of the Saints? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But when you look at the scoreboard, lawyers versus NCAA or whoever, man, take your shot.
This will all come up again next month when the supplemental draft happens, but it'll come up for Sorsby and whatever team drafts him and not Texas Tech, and they can move on with, they don't have to deal with this.
I've also heard people talk about, and listen, one slam dunk, Sorsby can't play in my book. You can't bet on college football. You can't be a student athlete and bet on sports, period. Certainly college football. But when people lump this in as like manipulating games, fixing games, point shaving, it's not. It's not. And that is worse if you want to get to it. Because look, and you want to call us hypocrites, because we basically promote sports gambling, okay? But we not to student athletes, and we've had a strong stance in all the things we debate on. We don't debate that. You can't do it. But the thing is, you can't. We want the games on the square more than anybody.
Yes,
the gambling industry is allowed these geofences and tracing devices where they're policing the game, the integrity of the game, more than anybody.
No. The whole, you can't speak out against this if you're advertising. No, we don't advertise for the student athletes to do this, okay? We advertise for liquor sales too, okay? Not for people to drink themselves to death. We advertise for gun sales, not for people to use them. Come on, stop, okay? We didn't advocate for this.
Don't forget our friends at K&M Automotive, K&M Automotive on Segan Lane, 8445 Segan Lane, just off of Perkins Road. oil light, not just the oil light low, you need an oil change, but the oil light, we'll bring it in. He looked at it, Jason, here it is. Tell me if it comes back on. What's it? That check engine light comes on. We're not trained mechanics. Bring it on in, and we'll look at it, put the diagnostic tool on it. We'll find out exactly what it is. Just an oil change, AC repair, tires, transmission, whatever you need. Go by and check him out on Segan near Perkins. Now, he may be very busy because he does a lot of repeat business because he gives people an honest deal. That's all we're asking for. So I ask for it free. But, I mean, just you've heard the nightmare stories of getting overcharged for unnecessary work. Not the case at K&M Automotive. Tell Jason Payne you've heard us talking about it right here on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. K&M Automotive, the only place I take my vehicle on Segan Lane, just off of Perkins, Charlie, across from, you know where that bakery
I
is.
know what you meant.
Ambrosia Bakery, yes.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Heading out to Las Vegas, deep in the desert, lives one man. One man of many sports bets. The one and only Andy Isco.
Andy, what's going on, bro?
I'm doing pretty well now that most of the magazines that I like are on the newsstands. I'm starting to plan out my attack for the 2026 NFL and college seasons. I'm especially looking at strategies for the Circuit Survivor.
Okay, all right. Yes, indeed. Mapping out your stuff. What anything that you've taken of note to your early parts of research, college or pro?
Not really. What I'm actually doing at this point, this week is usually devoted for getting all my computer programs up to date for the upcoming season as far as writing new lines of code and making changes and adding in some things so that when the season actually begins in late August for the colleges, I'm all set to just bump everything in and start going from there. So I'm in a lot of I describe it this way. Right now I'm in my administrative phase. As far as taking a look at the Circus Survivor, I start to take a look by looking at what the projected lines are going to be for each week and projecting, based upon what we know now, what is likely to be the most popular selection each week so that I can try to avoid being on that selection if indeed when the games come around and I'm still alive in the contest, that the most popular one is indeed the most popular one, and then start planning out my strategy. And that's why the big part for me as far as doing any work was awaiting the release of the schedule last month so that I could take a look at the up spots, the down spots, the travel spots, etc. That's all part of the planning process that I'm also starting to work on, as well as the administrative stuff.
I need to ask you, you're a Knicks fan. Are the Knicks the most popular team in New York?
Depends on the time of the year and how the teams are doing. So I don't know that I would say that you've got the Yankees and the Mets, the longtime teams forever, especially the Yankees. Basketball, though, has become increasingly more a popular sport overall. Part of it has to do with the history and also the fact that even now with the WNBA becoming a significant factor, especially from a wagering standpoint, that's becoming more popular as well. But I would say that the Knicks are right up there year after year as far as loyalty and fans. New York has always been, a multi-sports town, and obviously in the winter months, the Knicks and the Rangers are always right there at the top.
So what percentage of New York are Mets or Yankees fans? How's that split?
When I was growing up, it was mostly Yankee fans because they were the historical team, the most successful team in baseball, etc. We're talking in the 60s and 70s, but, that's an older generation. So right now, I don't know that there's a significant difference between Yankees and Mets fans because I think they both have their loyal fan bases. And, with 7 million people in New York City and the environment surrounding area, there's plenty of fandom to go for both. And again, I listen to New York sports talk radio a lot, and it seems as though the calls are always evenly divided as far as which teams attract the most attention. It's basically what's going on at the moment. So it's hard to really, for me, to put a percentage on it. A lot easier 40 years ago when the Yankees were still the dominant team and the Mets had started to show success. But then the Yankees had their down period for a couple of decades, with rare exception, and the Mets were the team that was back. So
well, the city,
followed them all, and I
city
don't have
is
any strong preference.
The city is split up a little bit. No matter not down the middle as far as baseball fans are concerned. It's split up some, maybe not down the middle as far as football is concerned. But I don't think the Nets pull anything, from the city. The reports are like it's never been this level of excitement. Maybe it is their starving fan base. It's been so long. Maybe this was such a, it was a little bit of a long shot, but also. So when the Yankees win, they're supposed to win, kind of deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not this huge underdog type of bandwagon or surprise, this level of excitement, that you just didn't expect for a lot of teams. It's a celebration. There's no doubt. I mean, and listen, everybody loves a winner. There's some people that we're seeing at Knicks games that you really don't see a whole lot of, and some that have been around for. But I'm going to tell you what, I've always been impressed. Not now when football is now on Christmas Day, but. I mean, it used to be when the NBA took Christmas Day and they were the center stage and they played that first game, noon Eastern tip, 11 a.m., and they are, 8-30, 8-28, whatever it is, and it's packed.
Yep.
That impressed me.
Well, the thing that's interesting, both the Knicks and Rangers are owned by Madison Square Garden, and, of course, it was well known for many years that the Rangers hadn't won the Stanley Cup since 1940, and then they finally won in 1994. So it was 54 years, and so the challenge for the Knicks was, we're going to win a title before 54 years are up, and they did it by 1 year. They won it in 53.
One of the most difficult things to do in professional sports is win with a bad owner, and they did it. That's impressive. We didn't care for the coaching move when they made it. It worked out.
Nor did I.
They won a championship.
It turned out to be correct.
Yes, it did. It did. You have to give him
credit.
credit.
It turned out to be correct. How many other guys could have done it? Because how many of the guys that they offered before Brown could have done it? Because there was a list.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who turned down that.
Donovan. Jason Kidd.
Jay Wright.
Jay Wright, I think, cut off all.
Jay Wright, Jason Kidd, Donovan for sure.
Yeah.
For starters, yeah.
And Mike Brown had a relative amount of success. He certainly was coming off a good year with his time in Sacramento, but it seemed to work. And keep in mind that a lot of the players on the Knicks have a lot of experience together with from this year's team. Three of the guys, all from Villanova. I think they each played or at least had a part on the two championship teams in 16 and 18. And then, of course, they had DiVincenzo, who was also part of the Villanova program. I think all four of them opened the 2024-2025 season on the roster, and DiVincenzo, I think, got traded to Minnesota, I think, right at the start of the season.
Brown gets credit. So, however it happened, I mean, we've seen other coaching searches where Nick Saban wasn't Alabama's first target. Pete Carroll wasn't USC's first target, and I'm sure there's some football, some NFL jobs in NBA. I mean, it's just but he gets credit. But it's weird for basically a journeyman sort of coach.
Yeah.
What he's kind of become. I mean, he's been fired.
And when we all disagreed with Thibodeau, keep in mind one of the criticisms of him, and we saw it work out this year. He played his starters way too much. He didn't give enough playing time to the supporting staff, and it wore them down at the end of the season. Mike Brown was not like that. He had everybody involved, and that was I think that had a lot to do with the difference in the team, of course, some of the changes that were made during the early part of the playoffs.
We've heard that. I get it. I thought it was a bad move. It worked out for him, so I was wrong. But the thing is, now, does Thibodeau get any credit for instilling a little share of the basketball culture, a little bit of doing the dirty work culture, a little bit of defending is a priority?
Dolan gave him credit.
He did. He really did.
In January and again yesterday.
Okay.
I heard some interviews after the Knicks won. Thibodeau was
Is that a
exactly
good thing,
thrilled,
Charlie?
and a lot of the players gave credit to Thibodeau for setting the stage. Remember, he took over a team that was horrible, got them into the playoffs, and they advanced year after year after year, finally making it to the Eastern Conference Finals and losing to Indiana. So they made a great deal of progress, and he still held in high regard, and he was happy for what he saw out of the players that he coached in winning the title.
Got you. Is the Spurs coaching for his job, title or bust next year?
Hard to say because they weren't expected to have the kind of success that they had. Yes, he made some critical decisions that didn't work, especially considering they had double-digit leads in all 5 games and managed to win only one of them, and then only by 4 points. But I wonder how much emotionally, physically, and mentally that 7-game win series over Oklahoma City may have had a little something to do with that, although you can't really blame it once a game gets underway that, okay, there's still a carryover. So I don't know if he's coaching for his job, but, certainly there's going to be a lot of pressure on him to make some better decisions, whether it be matchups or use of players, whatever, to achieve similar success that he achieved in this unexpected year next year, now that they and OKC are expected to dominate the West, especially looking forward to the next few years.
I tell you what, though. I mean, they lose in the Western Conference. They lose. I mean, if they get there, they're probably going to be favored. And what series will they not be favored? So I don't know unless Wemby has an injury. But man, there was just a list of things that were just poorly done from the bench. All right, Andy, any Major League Baseball picks for future for the games?
Let's also give the Knicks defense credit, especially in the fourth quarter of these games.
The Knicks get credit for a lot of things in the fourth quarter. I mean, they're down. I mean, they own the fourth quarter. There's no doubt. And when it all boils down to it, you and I have talked about this before, playoff seasoning, and it was lopsided. Knicks had a lot of it on their roster.
Yeah.
And the Spurs had very, very little. And I'm sorry, but also very little on the bench as well.
Yeah, that was that was critical, and I don't know that anyone expected it to be as evident as it turned out to be. It was quite significantly, and although I'm not sure he's coaching for his job, if people are talking about it, how could you not be surprised given that the Spurs were the favorite to win and they were in position to win every game? Although, again, keep in mind that so many of these games, even with the great comeback, still were decided in the last 2 minutes.
First, third, and fifth biggest comebacks in finals history in the same series. Follow Andy on Twitter at VegasAndy711. Andy, good luck to you this week. Look, man, we'd love to hear some of your tidbits of information and your angles that you're picking up on your football preview with college and pro.
I'll have some of that next week.
Sounds good, buddy. Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, guys.
All right, don't forget our friends over at Legacy Title. Chad Reynolds, the Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060. Full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Long-standing staff. Ashley Donald, Adrian Galata, Michael Platt, Mariana Haynes, Natalie and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, or refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title. 296-0060.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Yeah, if you're following along at the World Cup, the pre-tournament favorites, France, in action today. Their first match. That's
2 hours away.
2 o'clock against Senegal. But yesterday, something I imagine this has happened at other points, but certainly was eye-catching. 4 matches, 4 draws. Yesterday at a 0-0, 2 1-1s, and a 2-2. What did that pay yesterday, Jimmy? Somebody at the Superbook had a $10 parlay, probably just hanging out. $10 parlay on all 4 matches to draw. Paid $9,800.
$10.
$10. And I'm sure that this is somebody just wandering around and didn't sit there and. Plus, I hope they didn't sit there and watch and root for a draw in all 4 games, because that's That's borderline torturous, right? Just sit there.
What did it pay yesterday?
98.14.
So
on a $10 parlay.
They've tempered it down today, but if you did it today, it's 67.27.
Yeah. So they posted this this morning. Very early.
Well, guess what? When something like that hits, so other people they're going to bet more of the draws today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
at 6 o'clock this morning, $100 parlay would pay you $69,000 this morning. So I guess it's changed here in the last 6 hours
plus,
or so.
Plus $5.50, plus $3.50, plus $4, and plus $3.60 pays $67.27.
We only got 3 matches today. Is that right?
Yeah. No, there's 4.
Is there 4?
2, 5, 8, and 11.
Oh, one of them's at 11 o'clock tonight. That's right.
Oh,
it's on my.
It's
on tomorrow's scoreboard.
Too late. It just doesn't count.
No, it was just on tomorrow's scoreboard. I didn't see it.
No, it's on today's.
Well, not
today, 11 p.m.
It says 11, and it.
Oh, you're looking at a scoreboard.
I'm looking at a scoreboard. Yeah, that's Austria and Jordan. Didn't quite have that one. First class, second class, no class when we come back here at Mike Anderson Seafood. Wesley at Nicholson live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch, first class.
I want a seat in first class where I was booked and ticketed over a month ago.
Second class.
No man should be subjected to the indignity of being labeled or treated like a second-class citizen.
And no class.
Life had become like school on Sunday. No class.
I'll tell you what then. Why don't you call me sometime when you have no class?
First class, second class, and no class. Brought to you by Supreme Rice. Buy local with Louisiana-based Supreme Rice since 1936.
And return here at Mike Anderson's. Wesley at Nicholson Combine. Join us for lunch. Rain has stopped here today, so make your way over here. We're in the front bar, right by the oyster bar. Come get you some char-grilled oysters for lunch. That'd be a pretty good way to start your afternoon.
Yes, indeed.
I think that's what might be on my agenda today. Some char-grilled oysters. All right, first class. I got a bunch of stuff today. First of all, Adrian Rodriguez yesterday for Texas at the College World Series hit for the cycle. Only the third time that's been done in Omaha. 5 for 5, single, 2 doubles, a triple, and a homer. Drove in 7 yesterday.
Ooh.
Nice afternoon, young man. Let me get into a couple of things that have happened with the World Cup this week that I'm sorry, I like this kind of stuff. I think there's been an unbelievable reaction for the most part to most of these matches and to most of the visitors that have come in here. I understand the Iranians are not having a great go of it in Los Angeles. But besides that, you've had a lot good. The kid Freddie from Germany is Derek Stevens sent the jet for him, or said he would send the jet for him yesterday, Jimmy. So I
heard he's fake.
Freddie's fake?
Yeah.
No, he's not fake.
No, he's not?
No.
Okay.
He's definitely. No,
Sure.
There's some fake Freddies out there, but the actual Freddie is real.
Sure.
Yeah, the LSU people told me. They had him over there on Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah. Now there.
What's he doing at LSU?
Well, he was in New Orleans. They were coming from. They were in Auburn for the friendly.
Right.
And then they spent the night in New Orleans.
Right.
And then when they were to Houston for the thing, so they came through here. I invited him to lunch on Saturday, but we missed it. He got too famous in between Wednesday and Friday for us to be able to get in touch with him. But no, they took him in Tiger Stadium. They took him to the soccer complex. J.J. Watt put him up.
He didn't post any of that stuff at LSU?
He did. He posted.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, posted all of it. Was some really nice pictures of him out in Tiger Stadium and all that stuff. The police brought him in for barbecue yesterday in Houston. Derek Stevens said he'd send the jet for him. He's on his way to Oklahoma for a concert. But not just him, okay? Some of the reactions to just American things, Waffle House, Buc-ee's, Raising Cane's, those kind of things. America's pretty good, okay?
Southern things. It was mostly.
Well, and yes, most of that has been Southern. And sometimes you just get tired of hearing, America sucks.
Yeah.
You know what? We got some pretty good stuff here. It's a pretty good place to live. Ask the people that don't live here when they come here if they like it here. I kind of get tired of the anti-Americanism after a while. Just complain. So you bring in this amount of people from overseas and they say, you know what? This is pretty cool. I understand not all of them. The Japanese were great. The Japanese were at MetLife Stadium. They cleaned up their own section, the fans. And guess who was cleaning up with them? Jameis Winston.
Jameis is
Jameis
he's traded. He is traded in for some new Dreamsicle orange. Yes, for the Netherlands. Yes, he was in the Orange Army parade, and yes, he's
helping the Japanese fans clean up. The Scots taking over Fenway Park the other night.
Yes,
that's pretty good.
Yes,
I think it's some cool stuff to see, and so I'm
World
happy
Cup's
about that.
powerful, boy.
It is, and so much more. Look, it's a very different world than it was in 1994. But I remember when it came in 1994, it was a big deal everywhere else, but soccer wasn't nearly as big here, and there wasn't as much media and all that stuff. It's just a much bigger deal this time around. So cool with all of that. Been a real positive thing for the World Cup. And one more first class. We got to give it to our friend. Tomorrow we're going to be at Sammy's in Prairieville, but this past Sunday was the final day for Sammy's on Highland, and we've done many shows there, Jimmy, over the years. Great food, great people.
They're my first sponsor.
Yeah,
30-something years ago.
I was going to lead you into that. The amount of shows and good times and good meals we've had in there. I went in on Saturday to get one last one at that location. They're going to be back. They're scouting for new locations. In the meantime, we'll be out in Prairieville. But first class to Sammy's for a heck of a run there at the place on Highland Road.
Yeah. We'll be at the Prairieville location tomorrow. Any update that we have, we'll certainly pass along. And as we get, from time to time. So, yeah, it's started going there when I was in college. And the grilled chicken club, then the boiled crawfish, the Geo special for brunch and things like that. So, no, it's a little Highland Road institution. So, we will certainly keep you updated on if they identify locations, because we're going to maintain our relationship with them. And so, we'll if there is an update, we will certainly pass it along.
Second class, good with a chance to be great. I got two here. One of them is Cam Jordan and the Saints, who are sitting down apparently today, see if they can work something out on a one-year deal. I hope that this works. I would like to see Cam Jordan finish his career in New Orleans. First of all, he's just been a fantastic player for his career in New Orleans, and every bit as good off the field as on the field. Locker room leader, involved in the community. You draft Cam Jordan 100 times in a row for what he's done on and off the field. But he's 36 years old, and you understand why he is no longer one of the top players in the game. But he said he wanted to test the market a little bit, see what was out there. He had a good year last year, double-digit sacks. Well, market was a little bit underwhelming, it would appear. So now, for one more season, maybe two more, but probably one more, Cam Jordan is maybe going to stay right where he is. And I think Cam Jordan's worth more to the Saints than he is to other teams, just because of what he's done, his legacy there. And so I think it's a good move for Jordan. It's a good move for the Saints to keep that veteran defensive lineman in there, and he can still play. He's not a starter and a 65 snap a game guy anymore, but he can still rush the passer a little bit. I hope that works. Works out all the way around for Jordan, for the Saints, for the contract, the whole deal.
What was it like at the end of Ricky Jackson's career? Was there these type of sit-down opportunities?
What I remember is Jackson wanted a chance at a ring, and San Francisco made him an offer, and he took it. I don't remember.
He really didn't make that much.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't remember them buying him. He was still a productive player, but he was past his prime.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't remember there being a whole lot of hand-wringing over it. It was just like, man, it sucks to watch Ricky Jackson in a 49er uniform, but doggone it, that guy is one of the best players in Saints history, and I can't
They're in the same
begrudge him.
division then, huh?
Oh, gosh, yes. And the 49ers just.
What year did they switch divisions?
2002, I believe, was when they moved them all over. But, yeah, I don't remember there being a lot of hand-wringing. I think there was more hand-wringing when Morton Anderson went to the Falcons, because at least with Jackson, the Niners were good. Anderson went to the
Yeah,
Falcons.
they want to pay a kicker.
Yeah, that was what it was. I remember a lot more hand-wringing about that. My other good with a chance to be great, you're probably going to hate this, but I'm going to do it anyway. USA Soccer, okay, good with a chance to be great.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to make an analogy. It's I don't think it's going to hold up, but at least for now, play along with me. First drive of the 2019 season, I'm watching LSU play Georgia Southern, and we had been through a decade of just please get the offense into this century. And it might have been the most beautiful drive I've ever seen in my life. They just went right down the field. They were moving it. Burrow put the ball all over the place. They were at tempo. They scored in, 3 minutes or less. And I'm like, oh, that was beautiful. That's what the first half was like for USA Soccer the other day. What some people, I think you said, one of your soccer context.
A lot of people saying the best half.
Yeah. Okay. So
3-0 at half.
Yeah. And finishes 4-1. I remember having to temper myself in the postgame saying, listen, this was maybe the most beautiful offensive thing we've ever seen in our LSU, lives. But it's Georgia Southern. It's not the University of Georgia. Well, 3 months later, it was the University of Georgia. I'm not saying that USA Soccer can take a half or really a whole match against Paraguay and turn it into something like that against Spain or France or any of the other favorites. But the other day was pretty good. So good with a chance to be great. That's what second class is supposed to be, right? Can I put USA Soccer in there?
Oh, I think that's very real. What would be great? Quarters appearance? I think so.
I think so. Yeah, you get into the final eight. That would be their deepest run ever, right?
I think they've been in the quarters before.
One more? Okay.
Yeah.
So even if you match your deepest run ever, yeah, that would be a huge accomplishment. And if you lose, don't go get beat 3-0 or 4-0. Make a match of it.
Oh, Charlie, you get beat 100-0 if you got to get there, man. Just get to the quarters.
The quarters would be, I think, a terrific run. So good for them. No class. I'm really getting tired of this guy. Next week is the NBA draft. Okay, Darren Peterson from Kansas, going to be a very, very high pick, maybe the number one pick. Well, Darren Peterson decided, who after deciding a number of times at Kansas, well, I'm hurt. I understand we got a game against the number one team, but I don't really feel like playing the second half. Darren Peterson decided he wouldn't work out for anybody but the Washington Wizards because they have the number one pick. So the Wizards bring him in for a meeting last week. Peterson told reporters he was surprised that the Wizards focused more on him as a person than as a basketball player. Guy still doesn't get it, does he? Everybody knows that when he plays, he's a great basketball player. He's an unbelievable talent. Is he the best talent in this draft? Maybe. He might be the best talent in 5 drafts. I don't know. But you think they don't want to check you out as a person after you refuse to go on the floor as many times as you did? And maybe he was hurt every time. But, boy, when your agents are behind the bench and you can't, finding your way to make it out in the second half of a game against the number one team in the country in Houston, and you think they're not going to worry about whether or not you're going to quit on them, would have been my first question. Would have been my first 10 questions to him. In fact, and I may end up looking really, really dumb on this because the kid is really talented. I wouldn't take him with the first pick. I'm not sure how far you'd have to go down before I took the risk of like I said, the headache of this guy. I'll tell you who he reminds me of. And I don't know if you'll agree with this or not. He reminds me attitude-wise, not as a player, but attitude and talent-wise, a great deal of Ben Simmons. Somebody who is incredibly talented, a once-in-a-however-long talent that plays basketball because he's good at it and because he can make a lot of money at it, not because it's particularly what he wants to do. Not because he's particularly, some of these guys, Kobe loved it, okay? Jordan loved it. I'm going to go into the all-time greats because they think that this kid has similar talent coming out of college. I don't know. I think that's probably an overreaction, but who knows? But he plays basketball as a means to an end. How much money can I make doing this? And that's fine. Everybody's trying to make money. But he kind of plays because, man, you know what? I'm good at it. Give me my money, but I don't give a damn if we win or not. Doesn't really matter to me. And those guys they're hard for me to watch. The ones where I think that they just really could care less. I'll play for this team. I'll play for this team. I'll be a mercenary. And if we win, we win. If we lose, we lose. Just make sure my damn check gets there, okay? I'm sorry. The whole way he approaches this rubs me the wrong way. And maybe he'll be a 10-time All-Star and go straight to the Hall of Fame, and maybe whoever drafts him will win 5 NBA titles. But if he's surprised that they're checking him out as a person, he's not reading the room real well. And he came out of as good a basketball program as there is in college at Kansas, for as good a coach as there is in Bill Self. And he's wondering why the NBA is a little skeptical about his attitude. Whew. I'm done.
Latest mock draft has him going 3rd to Memphis, behind Devonta and Cameron Boozer.
Yeah.
You know, two safer plays, certainly character-wise. If everything was on the square, he'd be the first pick.
Yes.
So he's already cost himself, a little bit of a slot there. Just when you were thinking that maybe he was hurt, and maybe he just well, do we know? It's kind of dying down a little bit. He validates all your concerns again, and he's giving you all the warning signs that he's going to be a dog.
Mm-hmm.
He's giving you way more warning signs than Ben Simmons did coming out.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah,
he just strikes me as the ultimate front runner.
You think he didn't want to play during the regular season against number 1 team? You think if they didn't make it and he was going to go to NIT, he was going to play?
No. Not a chance.
Not a chance.
When Ben Simmons didn't want to play in the NIT, it was still a big deal to skip the NIT. Now, 10, 12, 15 teams a year turn it down. It's not just so it's not as big a deal as it was when
it was
Simmons
a bigger deal. I don't know how big of a deal it is. I guess it
just hadn't happened as much. No.
It was more rare, but it happened some, but nothing like now. No. The U.S. has made it to the semis, and they won the 3rd place game.
What year was that?
A while ago. It was 96 years ago.
96 years ago?
1930.
My cable must have been out that day.
Oh, you were streaming. You're on Paramount Plus. Right. It was a package deal with the UFC at the Capitol.
You get Landman, you get the fights, and you get the.
So wait a minute. They had a foreign guy that was undefeated.
Yeah.
That got upset by an American at the White House.
Yeah.
Everything's on the square.
He's still on that. It was 5 chalks, and
he just says, "Oh, and his face got bashed in. That was fake, huh?"
Boy, he did look like he got hit in the face with a brick.
Yeah, he's in on it.
Yeah, come on, just like the Dirty Harry movie when the villain made the guy beat him up.
My deal. It's okay.
I understand.
It's okay.
First class, second class, third class, brought to you by
Supreme Rice
and SupremeRice.com. Louisiana farmers, they enjoy the support that Supreme Rice gives them. So it's the brown, the long grain, the medium grain, the jasmine, the parboiled rice, Jimmy's Monday red beans or white beans with the parboiled rice. The Low Glow for diabetics is a perfect complement to your meals. You're going to save some money. Part of the Climate Smart program, methane emissions reductions, water conservation, and you're going to be supporting our Louisiana farmers because all of our Supreme Rice is grown, milled, and processed right here in Southwest Louisiana. So next time you're at a Rouse's or you're at Walmart, you're at an AG food store, pick up Supreme Rice. For more information and great recipes, go to SupremeRice.com. Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
This Sunday is Father's Day. You're still looking for a gift for Dad? TheThibodeauStore.com will get you hooked up. You go down to any of the properties, Thibodaux, Pierrepont, LaRose, Lockport, custom Cypress furniture, outdoor cooking equipment, power tools, hand tools. You get Dad a gift card. if you don't know exactly what to get him. But you're going to have so many choices at these properties that I think you're going to be able to find something for a dad. Numerous specials on Channel Lock, on Milwaukee, on DeWalt Tools. All of these different brands have been doing showcases and demonstrations over the last week. And you can pick them up now at any of those locations. Same-day pickup, if you can find it on the website. Delivery is available on some of these items. So get Dad a treat here for Father's Day. Thibodaux Store, 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux, Highway 70 in Pierre Part. And on the web, all 4 sites go to the same website at thethibodauxstore.com. So we touched on Brendan Sorsby and what it meant for Texas Tech and the legal and all that stuff. We're going to have probably a month to knock this around, but the supplemental draft, which is a weighted lottery. I actually didn't know this. I thought it went in the exact order as a real draft.
It used to.
Yeah, and now it's a weighted lottery. So if you are one of the teams, if you're one of the teams that won fewer than 6 games, you're in one part of the lottery. If you're in you won 6, but you didn't make at least 6, but didn't make the playoffs, you're in another part of the lottery. And if you're a playoff team, you're in another part of the lottery. And that's the order that they go in. You submit a bid if you want him in a certain round. You can take him. Best bid submission wins. First of all, where do you think he's going to go? No. I'm doing this backwards. How good do you think he is? Forget the gambling for a second. How good a pro do you think this guy can be? You've seen him play enough.
He's had 34 starts.
That's acceptable.
He has improved every year. With his numbers, including this year where he really protected the ball and had a 27-5 TD to interception ratio. He can run. Mm-hmm. He's a good runner.
600 yards last year, I think.
Let's see. The rushing, he went 580 and 9 TDs. He had 450 and 9 TDs the year before. He's athletic, strong arm. Not the biggest guy, not the most accurate guy, but he did. Like his 2024 at Cincinnati, he had 7.3 yards an attempt. The last year's 9.3 yards an attempt. Yards per completion were up, and we talked about the touchdown to interception. He went from 18-7 to 27-5. He was, and boy, he'd have put out some stupid numbers against this stupid schedule that they have.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a good line of scrimmage as well. This is what wins out here. Well, it only takes one team to fall in love with you. I mean, really, if the quarterback for Alabama, Ty Simpson, if the Rams don't take him, where's he going? Second round?
Early second round. I think the Cardinals would have taken a shot with him in the early part of the second round.
20-something picks is a big dip.
Yes.
20 picks.
Bunch of money.
It only takes one, but also how many are willing to take this? He's made a lot of bets in that time. I mean, guys that make a lot of bets or whatever you're in, you go to rehab, you come back. Do they not have? They fall back into some of their habits? Are they more prone to do it? So you got that risk involved. So I'm going to risk a high pick. No. I mean, so first round, I say no. Second round is a chance, but I'm thinking more third round or even fourth. But I would say third because of with his talent as a risk, a guy that has a chance. He does have some seasoning. He's got the magic 25 starts in college. Mm-hmm. Boy, it would have been nice for him to. He screwed up, no doubt. I mean, to have 40-something. We've seen that. We've seen some marginal quarterbacks. Brock Purdy. I mean, he's made a nice career. He's making a little bit of money. He made that second contract. So because he had so many starts. Bo Nix. They took Bo Nix after 2 years from Auburn. There's no way this is working out like it is. So I'll say third.
Okay. That's where I got him too. I don't know that he's been through so much in the last couple of months as far as the consequences for this that I would be surprised if he got into a gambling situation as soon as he hits the NFL. Okay, he knows that if he screws up just one time in the NFL, they'll ban him for life. So he's got one. He's going to get another chance, but it's going to be at the professional level. So unless he is just absolutely beyond help as far as a gambling addiction, I think he'll be able to keep it together. They'll put him in an environment where, whether it's the geofencing in the building or his support groups or all that, they will help him because they're going to have a lot invested in him. But I would go back to the quarterback's got to be the face of my franchise. He's got the best quarterbacks are good decision makers on the field and off the field. And this guy's made a lot of bad decisions. I've said this a few times, he didn't make one bad decision one night. You know, he didn't go out and get provoked in a bar fight and, knock a guy out and hurt him really bad. He made a conscious decision several thousand times to circumvent what he knew was a rule. So I'm gonna question his decision making a little bit.
Is it any difference if he's betting 500, 1,000, 5,000 a game as like he's betting $2 a game? Some of these things. A lot of this stuff.
The amount matters, but also,
it's like
the volume
pitching
of it.
Quarters, man.
Yeah, right. A lot of these bets. If you bet 9,000 times for $90,000, some of these bets are very small.
You're consumed,
and some of these bets are very small. But yeah, you went. He couldn't take his own phone and bet. That would be too easy to trace. He had to jump through some hoops. He had to get a friend to bet for him, or he had to get a burner account or a different phone. Or he worked at this. So for his sake, I hope he's kicked the habit and is done with that. But you have to question his decision-making. He's going to come up with any number of decisions as a starting quarterback. Do you trust this guy to make the right decisions? Because he's made a lot of bad ones. That's worth some risk. It's not worth all the risk. Now, I'll tell you so we're on the same page. If you're a quarterback-needy team, a third-round pick is about right. If he had no gambling past at all, if he was just in the supplemental draft, I'd probably put him around higher, maybe even to the late part of first. I think the best spot in the NFL for him would be the Pittsburgh Steelers for two reasons. Number one, he doesn't have to go in and play. If he gets taken by the Jets or the Cardinals, which are the two other, or even the Browns, the other quarterback-needy teams, as soon as Jacoby Brissett.
Browns need more quarterbacks?
They need a quarterback. They got a bunch of them. They need a good quarterback. Okay.
When you got 7, you got none.
If you're in Arizona, as soon as Jacoby Brissett struggles, they're going to be asking for Carson Beck. So they would be asking for this kid. As soon as Geno Smith struggles in New York, the Jets are going to ask for him. And in Cleveland, you know how that goes. In Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers is going to be a starting quarterback for one more year. He could go in and light up training camp, and he's not getting that job. So there's no pressure on him to start right away. You take a year, let this die down a little bit, get yourself immersed, and, become a professional. And then the second thing is the organization itself. Pittsburgh is as right as the mail. I mean, they are as solid a franchise as there is in professional sports. They will give you every opportunity. There's not a lot of chaos there. It's not like Cleveland. Okay, it's not like the Jets. This is as well-run an organization as there is. Put him in that environment and give him the best chance to succeed. Now, there are other places he could succeed, but if you said 1 to 32, where would you put him? I'd put him in Pittsburgh. That'd be my pick.
Sure.
There are other places that need quarterbacks.
I don't know if Pittsburgh wants that, man.
They may not.
I don't know.
Part of being a stable organization is you don't.
As nice of a fit as it is going to be, man, they got I don't know. They let Antonio Brown walk.
He was he the best receiver in the NFL at that time?
Close right to there.
It. Yeah.
I know nobody hate Marcus Lattimore as much like Antonio Brown.
They let George Pickens walk.
I was getting to that.
Yeah.
I mean, they're tired, and this guy's a headache at quarterback right now. I mean, You say it's a position of leadership. No. You said it's your best lead. It's certainly a position of leadership.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's always your best. Your best leaders off and off the field. I mean,
no, you'd like it to be, but no, it's not always.
It can be, and it sure does help. But I mean, like you mentioned the Cardinals. I mean, Kyler Murray. I mean, the guy. I mean, we can trace the activity on your damn iPad. You hadn't opened it up, really?
What about Deshaun
Watson? You're not trying at all.
And Murray never achieved the success to me that Watson did. Watson was
No. Watson was light years better than Murray. No, but now I'm glad you bring up Watson because Watson clearly let the off the field stuff affect him on the field. You just don't go bad with experience at that position. Yeah, a little rust. Well, we waited for that rust. No, he's just not as good, not close to as good. His mind is shot. This guy's been through a lot. This guy's quitting this fight a week earlier than he had to. Who rushes into any type of decision like this? He's done. So I'm done. I'm finding it. I mean, he has been through a lot. He's going to get heckled. It ain't stopping. Just like Watson gets it. You don't think the visiting fans get on his ass?
Sure.
Shoot, man. Come on.
And he's going to get that. The next football field he gets on, wherever that is, he's going to get it.
Man, some of his fans are going to give it to him.
Yes.
I mean, it's just he is – it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. And I don't know if he's – I mean, I might not say it. It might be his sanctuary, where he can get away from it and just play. But no, it's all involved. It's too much, man. I think it's going to kill his chances. I think it's going to kill his chances. He's got the tools, though. On paper, I mean, he can throw. He's not huge, but he ain't small either. No. What's he, 6'2"?
Yeah.
I mean, but he can move. He's got a live arm. He showed progress with experience. He's got the magic 25 starts. He's got 32. And he was going to, with another year of experience, he'd have been one of those guys in his deep quarterback draft. The other thing, it is a deep quarterback draft. So how many teams are going to be, have guys that are safer play? And not just a safer play that he won't have a relapse and start gambling again, but how is all this going to affect him? We saw, man, Deshaun Watson, we talk about it with the supporting cast. He had far from the best supporting cast, and he had as good a numbers as anybody in the league. Yeah. You can make an argument. He was a year or two, he was the best quarterback in the league. This guy's never played before, and we saw with it. Deshaun Watson is clearly one of the worst starters in the league.
For a while, we weren't sure he was going to play again at all.
Yeah, he shouldn't. They're just following bad money. I mean, they just let it walk, man. It's done. It's over. I mean, he's past the point of knocking off the rust.
Yeah. Here's why I think he's got a chance, and I don't know that I would take him. I probably wouldn't. Here's why I think he's got a chance. If he so much as bets 50 cents on Russian ping pong, he's out of the league forever. There's no more second chances. I think he knows that. Inside that locker room, if there's good veteran leadership, and there's good veteran leadership in Pittsburgh, there's good veteran leadership other places too that he might go, they're going to have a very keen eye on him. They're going to want him to succeed because it means they're succeeding. But most importantly, if you're a veteran in that locker room and you even think for 1 millisecond that this guy is not doing what he's supposed to do, you're going to police that inside the locker room, and either you will accept those terms or you'll move on, and you'll go get a job and live out the rest of your life. But you ain't going to play football anymore. But that's got to be the right locker room.
Was McCarthy? Does he want to deal with this? I got to believe Omar Khan could use a break from the circus. And you got Aaron Rodgers at this stage of his
Aaron Rodgers back.
I mean, if you got him at this stage of his, it's a circus.
Different kind of circus.
I mean, so yeah, that might be good for Sorsby. The Steelers, with Steelers might be tired of dealing with this.
Very
You know
easily.
what I mean?
No, it'd be best for Sorsby. I don't know if it'd be best for Pittsburgh. They may
I
decide,
think.
no thanks.
Omar Khan's been there for a long time, and one of the first capologists. Background at Tulane and stuff like that. So we know him. We've had him on the show before, and I gotta believe that And look, is his job on? They just don't make this is the stability of an organization like the Steelers. They had Tomlin for a long time, and say what you want if he did deserve to be fired, but he lasted longer than most places. Okay, when you don't win a playoff game for that many
20 years. I mean,
yeah. No, but I mean, I'm talking about with his track record. He's on a Hall of Fame. I mean, he should. I think he is, and so
it's close.
Man, he never had a losing season.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn good.
No, it's great.
In 20 years in the modern NFL, who else has done it?
I have.
Name me another one. Nobody.
Without a losing record, no. I mean,
no.
I beat the drum for Mike Tomlin as much as anybody. I'd love the guy.
I look at it at that side. I mean, I'm sorry. And,
the reason I hesitate is there are coaches with 2 Super Bowl rings that are not in the Hall. Guys like Mike Shanahan and Tom Coughlin, and they had to pretty much do a campaign.
Guys have done something that nobody has done.
Yeah, I'd put him in. I'd vote for him on the first ballot.
So
I'm saying
I just think a stable organization. No, man, think about it. Rodgers and it hasn't been because he's not as big of a deal anymore. He's not as good of a quarterback. He's still average. But he's not. He's not what he once was, and so he's not making the impact that he once was. We talk about him. He's throwing the ball sideways. I mean, everything's a dump. It's sideways. So for that reason, it's decreased. But damn, he has made them look like a fool sometimes. Huh? Like
he's high maintenance.
Yeah,
but the nicest way I can put it.
Yeah, so
I
really. Yeah, we're gonna bring on another guy. We gotta look after all the time.
I said it was best for Sorsby. I don't necessarily think it's best for Pittsburgh.
I think the timing is not. I would not put Pittsburgh on it. I agree it would be one of the best for him, stability. But I would. Who does circus like things?
The Jets.
You got it.
Yeah.
Bingo.
It's a shame the Raiders have a quarterback now. If we could have gotten them involved, it'd really be fun. That's where he needs to go, Las Vegas.
Don't forget our friends at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. If your homeowners association requires wood windows like mine does, you got to shop over at Relief Windows. They come in, you set up an appointment, they'll give you an evaluation, they have their computers with you, they do kind of a computer rendering and kind of adjust some things, kind of give you an idea of what it's going to look like right on the spot. And then you order your products. They come in. They schedule an installation time. Perfect. Boom. I mean, not a 4-hour window, but no. When they tell you they come in, they call. They're on their way. They show up. They're professional. They clean behind their work. They do it. And the best thing is, I had 2 different windows that were installed 2 different times by them, and never once I had to call back. This wasn't done quite properly. The caulking were out here, or this did that, or that. No, none of that with Relief Windows. And like you said, man, you get some people to work at your house, and sometimes just leave a mess behind. Ain't happening with Relief Windows. On time, professional. Going to call you and let you know. Not going to hijack you for half a day. With waiting around, like maybe to get your cable maintenance or something like that. Nope. Relief Windows at ReliefWindows.com, 288-8138. I'm glad I use Relief Windows, and they look good, they last, they're functional, and they're built for this extreme South Louisiana weather conditions. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com.
Live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we continue here at Mike Anderson's, also brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. Dr. Michael Goff and his staff done a great job for our family over the years. So if you've got back pain, neck pain, muscle soreness, things that are keeping you from getting around as well as you'd like or costing you a good night's sleep, let them target those problem areas and get you to feeling better, get you in an adjustment, get you into a program that works. Or if you need dry needling, electric nerve stimulation, cryo, ultrasound therapy, they can help you out. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla, Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. But 15 minutes away from game one today, West Virginia and Troy in an elimination game. Jimmy, I watched the first game between these two. It was tied going to the 8th inning. West Virginia got 2 runs late. I kind of got the impression, and that was their front line pitching for both teams. It was West Virginia's 2 and Troy's 1. These were fairly evenly matched teams. So the fact that this spread is as high as it is was a little surprising.
I think West Virginia is a little better, not like this though, and especially when you eliminate Yale, YEHL. The number two, the ace for them. I would have to say he was first team All Big 12. His numbers were outstanding.
He was the player of the year, the pitcher of the year. He was the pitcher of the year in the Big 12.
There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a little unnerved in the first inning. And after that, they didn't get anything until the fielding behind him. Back-to-back errors to start an inning, and that was it. I think Troy is. I think out of respect to Sun Belt. Sun Belt's a good league, man, and they could be competitive here today. Yeah, I think so. Neither of these pitchers, the starting pitchers today, have a whole lot going for them, but they will be long gone before this game.
I would be surprised if either of them got into the 4th.
Yeah.
You'll see everybody today. It'll be a short leash.
He's talking about it, and you know what? Some of the smaller conference teams coming out of the losers bracket here, they don't care about one bit after tomorrow. About tomorrow. They get another win, man. It's a big notch for them.
That's right.
In Omaha, I kind of remember the ULL Clemson game.
Mm-hmm. The one with the fight.
Yeah. Well, the bunt.
It was spirited.
Yeah.
It was.
But
spirited.
they had beaten. They had a lot on that game. So. Same type of situation here. I'm looking for a competitive game. This total is getting way out of hand. There's a little breeze blowing out, but it's not whipping out like it was in was it Sunday, huh? Was it Sunday morning?
Troy Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Troy Ole Miss was really whipping. It's not going to be like it is tomorrow. 14, and I'm seeing some 14 and a halves out there right now.
I'm not going to fool with that. I like Troy plus the juice. It's too attractive. Just look, the last 14 games they played. They played Southern Miss 3 times. They went 1-2, but there were 2 very close one-run games in there. They played Miami twice. They played Florida twice. They played Ole Miss. They played West Virginia. They haven't looked outclassed in any of these games. I give them a great shot today,
yeah.
So they'll take the number along with them. We'll come back and wrap things up here live at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Yanni from Mike Anderson Seafood on Lee Drive on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we return here at Mike Anderson's Live at Lunch. LSU picking up a commitment for the class of 27, Trey Segarra, a running back, one of the top running backs in the Southeast. He is from South Carolina, and sure Hunt and those guys will have more on, and Matt.
High school or
high school, yeah, this is for 27.
Are they having with the new staff? Are they having a higher percentage of high school signees?
Well, the first one wasn't really his class, but what they're projecting next year is more of a 50-50 split. Maybe if 30 new kids come in, you'll end up with 15 high school kids and 15 transfer portal guys instead of 40 whatever in the portal last year.
No. We're talking about previous year, like Kelly for him at Ole Miss. Not the abbreviated recruiting class.
No, but what they're expecting is next year they won't have to bring in as many new people, and they expect about a 50-50 split.
I'm eliminating this past year.
This coming year is what they're expecting.
Okay. So you saying 15-15 this year?
For the next class, for the 27 class.
The 27 class.
Yeah.
And do you think 28 is going to be more high school than that?
No, I think they'll be about 50-50.
Okay.
I think they'll be about 50-50.
Okay. And how's that compared to what he was doing at Ole Miss?
Well, the last 2 years it was heavy portal. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me. It was
50-50?
No, it was
okay.
The portal king. Remember, it was they labeled him the portal king.
Well, and Kelly was.
Well, up until the last year, Kelly was trying to do it more with more high school kids. What Kiffin has kind of explained is that the high school kids they're going to go after are going to be the absolute top of the line, and they're not going to take very many developmental guys. You know, when you got a class of 25, some of those were developmental guys. Some of those guys coming in you knew weren't going to play as freshmen. I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of that because you're developing them probably for somebody else. The guys that can come in and play right away, they'll go get. Otherwise, if they're going to bring somebody else in, they'll bring them in a transfer portal. They'll know what they've got. That's what it appears to be, the direction that they're heading. So if they take a high school commitment at this time, it's going to be a very, very highly rated guy.
Right. Well, that's most of the high resource programs are doing that.
Yes, I think that's your preferred.
Kirby falling into a little Dabo mode, Dabo light, not willing to spend. Calling the Dollar General dogs.
Yeah. I got to believe that he's not that far removed from being a two-time national champion, but I don't think he's going to fall into that trap that.
So how hungry are their fan base? If
they're out of it for a couple of years, they get really anxious in a hurry.
They dip.
Yes.
Yeah. Then there'll be a sign in. I mean, they might have to go to a dipping process before they light a fire under their boosters again.
They had that 3-year run, where they went into. They were as good as anybody. That's what they want to get back to. They've been just a smidge underneath that.
That's. I don't know if that's happening in the SEC again.
Probably won't.
We're far from having anybody just having 1 year like they had.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. But you're asking me what those boosters want? They want to go back to that. The LSU baseball people, you don't win it 1 year. They want to go back to 5 and 10.
It's different in baseball.
Yes, of course it is.
I'm Ohio State's
elite programs. Elite programs. Yeah. Tomorrow we're at Sammy's in Prairieville. For Jordan back in the studio, for Jimmy Out, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon from Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.